actually heard you talk about the battle at Haditha Dam. Was that on this
Yeah.
deployment? Was that on that first deployment, or was that a follow-on deployment?
No, that started in late March of '03, and it was a mission with 375 Rangers. So Haditha Dam, let me put this in perspective. It was the most strategic point in that country because it's hydroelectric. It provided electricity from all the way down the Euphrates, all the way to Baghdad.
Mm-hmm.
So, and 375 Rangers got the mission, and there's an airfield about 20 miles to the west of there. So they did an airfield seizure, did a combat jump to seize that airfield. So then we could come in on fixed wing and land with the AHs and the MHs. Of course, our ground, our FARP guys, our crew chiefs. But that dam is one of the largest dams in the world. It's almost 5 miles across that dam.
That's crazy.
And you think dam, at your local lake or, even Hoover Dam. I mean, I'm like, okay, it's a dam, but I was like, holy smokes, looking at imagery of it, I was like, that is a big place.
Yeah.
That is a big place. And it was over 300 foot high. Plus there are wires everywhere. So wires and helicopters don't do well. So yeah, that was and the Iraqis thought that the Americans were going to come take it and destroy it. And then we thought, oh gosh, the Iraqis are going to come take this thing, blow it up, or whatever. So we were just kind of both doing that, where we could have, the two leaders could have met in the middle with swords or pistols. It's like, okay, man, yeah, we got it. Let's not cause all this bloodshed. But yeah, we sure did.
But went the hard route.
It was the Alamo. I ain't kidding.
How so?
That's my biggest chapter in the book, Haditha Dam.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah, there were 138 total. So it was 375 Rangers, and then some Delta guys. I think there were 8 to 10. There were heavy breachers and snipers, and because we had to clear all that dam, the whole thing, and either gather intel or secure it. Make sure nobody took it. And the 375 commander in the original mission statement was take hold of the dam, and within 24 hours we'll take relief on station from an armory unit, a tank unit that was coming. Well, they didn't show up for 7 days. And we were like, oh man, where are these tanks?
Mm-hmm.
But so it was light infantry, the 2 AHs, and the weather during the whole siege would not allow any fixed wing in because it was overcast, very low ceilings. So, nobody could get in there but the 2 AHs. Yep. And there's all different stories out there, but they told us the first night we killed between 800 and 1,200 enemy.
No way, really? Holy crap.
Yeah, they said it was a force. Well, just south of there was a very large military base. Mm-hmm. It was a division of Iraq, and then they had Fedayeen, their special operations or their
very regulars, yeah.
Type dudes. So they thought, oh, they're going to come blow that dam, and it's going to kill our families. It's going to kill everything downstream of that dam. So yeah, they came to fight and to fight us. And yeah, I'm not kidding, man. It was like the Alamo. It was, yeah. I was like, well, tonight's the night. I probably won't get through this one, but we did. Yeah, and that every night afterwards.
Man, what do the radio calls sound like in an event like that?
Man, it was terrible in the beginning because the Rangers did an airfield seizure, so they parachuted onto that, seized it, secured it, And we actually came in on a C-17, 3 little birds, and a tank. Yes.
It's a good matchup.
So we air landed, we offloaded, got our updates, and then took off.
Mm-hmm.
So I was on the radio trying to get in touch with the FSNCO, Sergeant Moe. He was the Ranger Fire Support Non-Commissioned Officer, Fire Support Sergeant on that objective. And he was in the Western BP blocking position. He and I think there were 6 Rangers there. And they had a blocking position on the eastern side. It was 5 or 6 Rangers. But I could hear Moe on the radio, but I couldn't talk to him. And he would ask, he was talking to the TOC, his command there it was H1 was the name of the airfield, Hotel 1. And he's like, where are the AHs? Where are the AHs? Where are the AHs? And every time he keyed the mic, I could hear sporadic gunfire, and I could hear outgoing gunfire. And then as time started to progress, it got more intense. And, the voices started to kind of go up in octaves. And I was just like, doggone. So we're flying. We're headed there. It was about a 16, 17-minute flight to the dam from H1, from our FARP, or forward arming refueling point that our guys set up at H1. And man, I was so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was just constant. Every time he keyed the mic, it was constant, 240 outgoing fire, AK fire, mortars. And I remember telling the guy I was flying with, I said, I was just so angry. We were probably 5-6 minutes out. And I said, a man standing on the moon in the 60s can talk to Houston, Texas, and I can't talk to my fire supporter 6 miles away. And so I went up on our sat radio.
Mm-hmm.
I said, all stations this net, clear the net. And I got him on the sat. And I said, we're inbound, brother. I said, what do you need? And he goes, he said, ETA. And I said, 3 or 4 minutes. He said, we ain't going to last 3 or 4 minutes, dude. Man, my heart sunk. And we pulled a little more power, those helicopters were running in the red. And man, the gun, every time he keyed the mic, I couldn't hear him because the gunfire was so intense. And we came in over the lake from the north. The MH he stayed behind us. And what was great about those guys is having them as a like a SOAR, or something happened, or if we got shot down, or if we had helicopter broke and we had to land, man, they could scoop us right up.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they could watch our 6 o'clock for us while we were in the fur balls, so to speak. But we came in over the lake, and probably about 10, 15 feet, and the dam's right in front of us, and there were just tracers just everywhere. And I was like, and we looked at each other, the guys flying with, and we started laughing. We're like, we're fucked. Excuse my French,
About
man.
to get into this mess.
Yeah, so, and we knew where they were. It was on that western side, and we bump up in that particular helicopter, 1, to gain altitude, and then 2, to give us a good overview of the battlefield, mm-hmm. and to find that target. And we bumped up, and I said, we're inbound hot. I said, danger close. He said, roger. He said, shoot right in front of us. And he said we shot 12 meters in front of him. 12 meters. There was a company-size element attacking their position. Yep.
How did your attacks look? Were you running straight guns? Were you doing rockets and guns on this? Or what was the? Because I'm sure you had to spread it out over time, right? Because you only have so much ammo on one of those little birds.
Yeah. and it would, and that's part of our job as professional gun pilots to manage that, to manage it, one, and two, to use the right munition for that target.
Mm-hmm.
So personnel, scored a minigun. Our minigun shot out 132 bullets per second for 2 guns. So it didn't take much. And of course, there's a lead aircraft and then a trail aircraft. So lead would come in and shoot, Dash 2 would find another target or more targets, or we would tell them, hey, shoot that same target, if it was a structure or an armored vehicle, a rocket, or we can also, we also carried a Gal 19, and that's a 3-barreled 50 caliber Gatling gun. So we carry it on the left side, just that gun, and then a minigun of rockets. So that would allow us to engage tanks, armored vehicles, or personnel with a minigun or rockets on a building, so
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
That's so again, you have to manage that to
yes.
to make this last, because if you're talking about almost 1,000 people,
Yes.
you don't have enough rounds for that. So
no.
Did you guys have a replacement section coming in? Like, were you guys the initial and there's another section getting ready to come in and replace you, and you guys kind of yo-yo back and forth after FARPing, or what? Or was it just one good run?
We were it.
That was it,
but,
man.
And each guy, you'll manage. I mean, you can get 15 to 17 engagements, because we got 14 rockets and we got minigun. And but when the Rangers drove into that target, and we had embedded a fart with them, so they put in, it was about, I don't know, 4 or 5 clicks from the dam. They put in a clandestine fart for us. So we had fuel, we had bullets, we had rockets, and we have 4 loads there, and then we depleted that pretty quick, and so then we had to go all the way back to H1. It was about a 16, 17-minute flight one way, and our guys they look like a NASCAR pit crew, man. We land, and they refuel us. They rearm the miniguns, they reload the rockets, and we're in and out of there in minutes, flat. Now that first fart, then the pilots, we get out. We friction everything down, we jump out, we load the cans, we load the guns, we load the rockets, jump back in, and take off and go do it.
Obviously, you guys are throwing down some devastation on the enemy forces there. What was their response to you? Were they trying to shoot you down? Was there any kind of, for those that may not know, the little birds, you guys get down and dirty. You get down into the fight. You're flying feet off the ground sometimes. You're dropping guys right on rooftops and stuff. The threat...
we're dropping hand grenades on dudes.
Yeah?
Out the door.
That's old school. Yep. That's like World War I biplane stuff, dropping the bomb,
Yeah, and our SOP, our standard operating procedure, in combat, whoever's not on the controls, you've got your M4 up. And it's very effective. Yeah, we can suppress, engage targets of opportunity. Yeah, we're shooting dudes out the door, man.
But so that shows how low you are. How do you yourselves not get shot down or get shot? Because there's no armor on these things, obviously.
No. There's none. Our kit, we've got soft armor and then plates, and that's it. That's it. I don't know, man. The good Lord watches over.
It's just a hope and a prayer, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
A prayer.
Fly into a firestorm of lead.
So it's, I don't think I've really put that home, but this is all at night. We're flying with night vision goggles. So that, we're night stalkers.
For sure.
We own the night. So,
man, just the threat of even hitting one of those wires you're talking about at night.
Oh God, man. Yeah, it was busy. It was busy. We were both scared shitless.
I was gonna say you're probably as close to death, on the edge of death as anyone has ever been. You know, that I can't imagine a situation much more dangerous than something like that. Where you're it's so bad you're dropping hand grenades out of the helicopter. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's
We
another
sure
way to
did.
do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Man.
Whatever it takes to defeat the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, that's what a unit like the 160th want, right? You know, they want someone that's thinking outside the box. Why not throw grenades out the door if you can? You know?
Always.
Yeah.
We got our asses chewed in Afghanistan for doing it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, the old man pulled us into his tent one night after the debrief. He said, "No more hand grenades out of the cockpit." And I think my remark was, "Well, heck, sir, y'all did it in Vietnam." Well, that was Vietnam. There's no more hand grenades out of the cockpit.
Taking away all the fun.
Oh, yeah, wink, wink. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the Delta Sergeant majors told him, he's like, "Hey, sir, it's B Company, the 6 guns. They're just trying to kill something."
Just doing your thing,
Right.
man.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, as long as it's effective, it's not stupid, right?
No.
Fuck, man.
We had a system. We let the other guy know, hey, frag out, pin, frag out. Boom.
Man,
So,
that's wild, though, from a helicopter. So, I mentioned the concern is, obviously, because you're doing these low-flying missions and stuff like that, the danger is being shot down or hitting a structure or something that you may not see in your night vision. Unfortunately, you've had that experience. Not hitting something, but being shot down. Can you talk us through like what that was like?